I love the subtitle. Does MAGA want a multipolar world or not? They don't have a fucking choice.
Where you have the global majority coming together. We're seeing we see Russia, China, Iran. We even see the DPRK sending a giant shiver down the spine of the West. They're calling them the new axis of evil. Meanwhile, this quote unquote axis of evil that everyone in the West is talking about, they're having discussions about increasing the life expectancy rate to 150 years. This is what the people in the West view as extremely evil. Look, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he and Xi Jinping discussed the prospect of extending human life expectancy to 150 years. Compare that to Germany in the West that is openly cutting and slashing their quality of life so they can wage war against the country that's trying to increase life expectancy. What's poppin', Sarah? Any reactions to this story and Mark Rutte in Europe essentially destroying their society, deindustrializing themselves, following the direction of the United States?
Wasn't that incredible? I think he said earlier this week, like he would be cutting social safety nets and programs so they could spend 5% of their GDP on U.S. weapons. It's like all circus and no bread. Like it's so. We talk about this often, the blatancy of it. It's becoming so blatant that they're just like, we're not even gonna give you any foreplay. We're gonna straight up tell you we're taking away your social safety net so we can go to war with Russia, which you don't want.
Just suck on it, Putin.
Yeah, and Putin, I mean, I translated most of his press conference today. It's in my pinned post if you guys want to check it out. And he's just not even entertained by these people.
I was considering covering that. I see we have time to cover the Putin press conference. There's a lot to get to. That's why I'm already starting off strong covering this, because we still got to cover the Epstein press conference that has Donald Trump in complete shambles. There's the EU that's also blocking sanctions against the genocidal state of Israel. So you have Germany, who elected a BlackRock executive. Like, we covered this when he was elected, and liberals pretend this was a great thing. What's popping, my brother Nico? Big shout out to my hotspot brother Nico House. But Germany elected a BlackRock CEO. Like, we have a Rothschild banker as the president of France. Now you got BlackRock controlling Germany. Europe is completely cooked. So as they're electing capitalists and getting rid of the middleman, they're advocating for cutting social spending while spending more on the military-industrial complex, which directly benefits BlackRock and the institution these people come from. The capitalist class is getting directly rid of the middleman. So as Germany in Europe descends directly into fascism and supported genocide, you want to know what the West is saying about the meeting between Russia and Xi Jinping? Look.
Well, I was hoping that they would call them that, so that's good.
Sarah, you knew I was looking for this. You knew I was gonna find and sniff these people out. It's so absurd. I've been having a great time.
I love the subtitle. Does MAGA want a multipolar world or not? They don't have a fucking choice.
Why are they always making them about MAGA? That's the annoying part.
We got to worry about their feelings all the time.
Why are they making it about MAGA? Like, as far as I'm concerned, it's been the anti-imperialist left that's been cheering. Like the MAGA people, they've been like the bandwagoners on cheering the multipolar world. But you got to see the liberal class make everything about MAGA. The same way they made everything regarding this summit about Trump. They said this is Donald Trump's fault. This is Modi sticking it to Trump. This is Putin's. No, this has been a long time coming because of United States unhinged policies that push India and China closer together. Their unhinged policies in waging a sanctions regime that sanctions 1/3 of the world population. This is what brought Russia and China together, which led many African countries to pursue this quote unquote axis of evil. Do you guys see how crazy these motherfuckers are? This is what they really believe. They call Xi Jinping in China a country that's committing no genocides, invading no countries, bombing nobody. They're the evil ones. And this is the CNN headline. Xi, Putin, and Kim put on defiant display.
Just by hanging out, they're being defiant.
Xi Jinping and Putin calling for world peace. How dare they?
All of their speeches, I didn't get to Kim's, but everybody's statements that I heard and read all said the same thing, that they wanted peace.
This is why the corporate media, they will never actually share what these people say. Like, I'm gonna get back to the Putin 150 years, because whenever you hear Xi Jinping speaks, the difference between him and a Western leader is as vast as the ocean. It's like, as Trump is talking about bombing Venezuelans, bombing random boats, as he's talking about killing Arabs, as they always talk about who they want to dominate, who's their enemy. Xi Jinping gives speeches talking about what he's going to build, the infrastructure projects that they have planned, the amount of people they're uplifting out of poverty. The difference in what they speak about is extremely transparent. But Sarah, do you want to chime in? I thought you want to chime in.
It's just like, it's like gaslighting, on meth. It's like, they're the axis of evil. We're going to bomb a boat in the middle of the ocean. They're the axis of evil. We're going to sell more weapons to Israel. They don't want peace. They want war. We're going to block all sanctions against Israel and keep sending weapons to Ukraine. It's like and like MAGA just eats it up. Like, even if you listen to them speaking, they're like, he has ended 7 wars. And I'm like, yeah, 4 of them we didn't even know about. It is like, what are we doing here? And they really do eat it up. I think that at this point they're lying to themselves to kind of force an ignorance is bliss type thing.
Yeah, they don't buy their bullshit. The Democratic Party and Republican Party, they are in a nonstop race to the bottom. They know no one really buys their bullshit, but it's all about disenfranchising the American voter. What are we gonna do? Vote for Pete Buttigieg, Sarah? What are our options? They don't care. They know
Gavin Newsom and JD Vance.
They're about to be running on who's going to crack down on free speech the most. Who's going to
be more authoritarian? That'll be the next thing.
I can show you guys these clips all day. I don't want to bore my friend Sarah here, but this small clip in particular, you guys see, I was watching live here, just analyzing the pure meltdown and how they try and describe this to the liberal audience. I explained this at our last live stream and making this all about Trump, just summing up like Caitlin Collins, this whole thing, pretending that Biden had the global world order under his thumb. Like, she pretending like Biden was killing the game, as if this shit wasn't happening under him. So that's how Democrats are spinning. But go ahead, Sarah. I think you want to.
Exactly. No, I was just buttressing up your point. Exactly that. Then both sides do this stupid nonsense. Well, if I was in office, then this war wouldn't even be happening. Oh, well, if Biden was in office, we wouldn't have the multipolar world being born. Like, this is retarded. Like, they're so inconsequential. They're becoming so politically irrelevant, the United States holistically, that it's just like, your opinion is comedy.
Listen to this look at this comedy in pure cope.
There is no doubt that Vladimir Putin is a malevolent force in the world. Kim Jong-un is running a criminal enterprise disguised as a nation, and both of them are being supported by China. That's
so North Korea.
What crime is Kim involved in?
Do you guys see the deranged ideology of the average American neocon? This isn't
even like a Kim standing moment. Like, genuinely asking, what criminal enterprise or crime ring is Kim involved in? I mean, we've got you guys covered. Maduro, which I'm sure we'll talk about more later, but he's the drug lord. What is Kim up to? Is he weapon smuggling? Is he starving? Like, what are we doing here? What is? And then and they exactly just making shit up. And the Putin is a malevolent force.
Yeah.
Dear God, all right, then get rid of him. Get rid of him and see what happens next.
It's extremely triggering, isn't it, Sarah? We can't make it even a few seconds into these clips, but you guys see what they pump into the average American. Why I said it years ago that Americans are by far the most propagandized country in the world. Not even close. I mean, a lot of people like to make the argument about Israel, but at least like our propaganda managed to convince Americans to serve Israelis. I mean, at least Israelis are advocating for their own interests. Like the United States support these crazy batshit assholes, and they convince themselves into hating North Korea, a country that did nothing to them. Like North Korea, only like the approval rating, the amount of Americans have a seething hatred. Like 30% of Americans polled as of 2020 said they believe the United States should just nuke North Korea. like the amount of So we laugh at this propaganda, and some people are like, Nick, come on, we all see through this nonsense. Do we though?
No.
Do Americans though? They don't. Because whenever I go on my North Korea rants, I know you see them, Sarah. Whenever I go on my North Korea spills on Twitter, there are always these Americans who are dumbfounded. Like there'll be like progressives, there'll be DSA leftists like, Nick, how can you possibly praise North Korea? Don't you know they're a criminal narco state?
I'm like,
they repeat the same shit from corporate media they hear. But go ahead, Sarah.
The drugs pouring out of North Korea. Yeah, that's the ticket.
They are criminal enterprise. Why? Because they didn't allow the United States to dictate the future of their country. That's the crime that they committed that white America would never forgive them for. That they are saying that's a crime. He's not getting fact checked by Caitlin Collins. She's nodding her head too. Let's play it again because it's unbelievable the shit they say.
Concerned. There is no doubt that Vladimir Putin is a malevolent force in the world. Kim Jong-un is running a criminal enterprise disguised as a nation, and both of them are being.
So I said it all the time. I'm mad that they jacked my talking points because I said the United States is an arm manufacturer masquerading as a state. It's like
I want to give a book recommendation since it made me think of it, and this is probably the only like decent book in the West that you can get on the Korean War. Patriots, Traitors, and Empires. It's by Stephen Gowans, and it's really, really good. And it will tell you exactly what the United States did to both Koreas. And it actually gives a lot of insight as to why both behave the way they do today, especially given the recent changes in South Korea. I mean, you even had a post recently that was like, South Korea is a capitalist dystopian hell. We need to save those people. And that's absolutely right. But
people have no idea how bad it is.
It's bad.
Like, they have these things. Hopefully I'm saying it right. You guys know my pronunciation is horrible. But I think they call it Chernobyls. Like, the capitalist system in South Korea is so deranged that certain capitalist families amass so much wealth and power that they are effectively above the law. Someone who knows this shit more than me, let me know if I'm saying that right. Someone type in there. I think they call it Chernobyls. Am I saying that correct? That's the term they use to describe these families, like the Hyundai family, like the family who controls Hyundai. They are more powerful than any fucking king or queen that walks in society. They have these bullshit they have presidents in South Korea. They have these bullshit senators and politicians. Motherfucker, they have no power.
Yeah, they don't.
You think these people that actually show up at the press conferences in South Korea are calling the shots? Here it is, Chernobyls. Am I saying that right, Ashura? You guys know I can't fucking talk, but I read about it, and it's one of the terms. Like, look, dig into South Korea. I gotta do a South Korea power hour. I talked about this before. People have no idea how crazy their society is. There's a reason why they have a suicide crisis. There's a reason why there are a ton of South Koreans who flee to North Korea, and then they get caught and they get sent to decades in prison. And there was a person who was just caught a few months ago.
He wants to go back. He wants to go back. They won't.
He was like, bro, I don't want to live in this bullshit. This is a capitalist dystopian hellhole. There's an entire Go ahead, Sarah.
They still have decent social welfare systems in South Korea. They still have healthcare. They still have all of that good stuff. And it's still a capitalist dystopian hellhole because of what they do to those people.
Yeah, they essentially have no real tangible worker rights. Unions have been dismantled. Their workers are worked to death and they're essentially stuck in dead-end jobs with no future. They are beholden, and they're victims of the Chernobyls that we were talking about. These giant capitalist conglomerates that control the entirety of the economic system in South Korea. Like Hyundai, they run shit, bro. Like you guys have no idea. There's another company I'm blanking on too. Fuck, I'm blanking on it. I don't know why. Hyundai is not even the biggest one. Was it Samsung? Am I getting that wrong?
Samsung, Kia, they all
yeah, there's another company I'm blanking on it.
No, Samsung is Korean. Yeah, Korean. So is Hyundai.
Yeah, it's Hyundai, Samsung. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, Samsung is even bigger than Hyundai. Like they can get away with murder. Kia is big, but Hyundai I think is a little bit bigger.
LG there. Yep. SK.
I don't want to get into this whole rant, but there was an accident that murdered all these Korean children because capitalists cut corners building this ship and this cruise. And essentially, they got away with it because it would have implicated one of the heads of one of the most powerful families in South Korea. So, despite being responsible for the murder of countless Korean children, they got off scot-free, essentially because the state ruled them as being too important to society to be prosecuted. So there are people like everything they tell you about North Korea is true about South Korea. They say in North Korea there's no freedom of speech. Bro, there are motherfuckers in prison in South Korea for decades.
They don't even have time to talk in South Korea. The motherfuckers working 60 to 80 hours a week. When do they have time to talk?
Yeah, they get sent to prison for saying nice things about North Korea. Like if you tell the truth about what happened in the Korean War, like I do all the time, like I explain how the United States invaded and destroyed the sovereignty of the Korean people by getting involved in the war right when North Korea was about to win. Like they had the South Korean capital surrounded, and then that's when the Americans came in. They changed the tide of the war. There are people who are imprisoned in South Korea for simply mentioning this fact that South Korea wouldn't exist without American interference. That's a punishable offense by prison time. You're not allowed to deviate from the narrative that comes from the West on the Korean War. Like people have no idea how fucked freedom of speech is in South Korea, the way of life, but they present North Korea as the evil actor. But all right, let's get back to this video. And you guys see the crazy shit that just made. We only made like a few seconds into this. Let's continue.
No doubt that Vladimir Putin is a malevolent force in the world. Kim Jong-un is running a criminal enterprise disguised as a nation, and both of them are being supported by China. That's unfortunate from a U.S. perspective. What we ought to do about it, Caitlin, back to India, we ought to do everything we can to kind of pull India, the world's largest democracy, back toward the West and allowing them to drift into the orbit of Putin and Xi. Enormous diplomatic mistake.
You guys see the code that felt as calm as you
ship has sailed. I don't know what kind of boats Indians use. Dinghies. Those ships have sailed. That is gone. The thing with India is a lost cause. They saw what happened with the war. They saw the lies. They hated it, and then they did the oil secondary sanctions. The India thing is gone. Even speaking to Indians, they are done. There were temples dedicated to Trump in India. I'm not kidding. People were praying to Trump. Now they are burning his effigy in the streets. These people want nothing to do with him. They see it as a huge betrayal. They see it as all this lying. They're done. The ship with India has sailed.
Yeah, I did a roast of Fahid Zakaria on my live stream on Monday, where he did a segment where he was having a meltdown over India preferring China over the United States, India being he was so sad. He like, you guys have no idea the permanent damage that has been done. There's a lot of these Hindu Zionists who love America, despite the crimes of the British Empire, what they committed against their people. They want to be attached to the West. They want to be attached to Israel. Even those people are like, man, fuck this Trump shit now, bro.
They are, and I'm actually kind of shocked because, you know, Indians as a whole, holistically speaking as a group, are the first to correct you. I'm not Indian, I'm American. And this has sort of created a conflict, an internal sort of confliction about, I mean, they're still loyal to India. They still protect it. They don't want bad things to happen to India. And this is just more of that. And I'm not glad for them, but I'm glad that they're seeing it as clearly, clearer than I thought that they would. I thought that they would be, you know, it's fine. But yeah, I'm surprised. And Modi, this weekend with Modi, Xi, and Putin it's a big deal. The SCO is a very big deal.
Yeah, we got to keep our eye on Modi. I obviously still very sus about this guy, but he's been buying Russian oil. Like he's been facing a lot of pressure from the West. We just got to keep I hope they understand how important this moment is in terms of breaking from United States domination, how quickly the United States will show itself as not caring about Indian interests at all. You guys, I'm still a little bit iffy on Modi, but India has done the right things. There's the reason why Trump and the United States and the West have been very frustrated with India. And they know that Russia and China has already cooked, but you can see in this guy's voice. And this is the common theme if you listen to these military neocon propagandists. They will say, oh, yeah, we already know China's laws, but losing India, that's really what hurts.
It's because India has a foreign policy of trying to be as friendly as with as many nations as possible. And it's not in like a schemy, backdoor, greasy palmed kind of way. It's a genuine, we want to be friends and in business with as many people and as many countries as possible. And you've pissed them off enough that they've turned to China entirely and away from you totally. So that's actually a big accomplishment for Trump. W for Trump.